Hey folks, welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
I'm Todd.
And I'm Obert.
And on today's show, we have a couple of new fun things to talk about, but first and foremost, I just want to say thank you, Connecticut, for having me for all this time.
Yeah, how's it been being back?
I mean, it's been pretty good. It's been a little cold. It's been like 60s and cold, and today was rainy, so not used to it. I'm definitely a southern boy now.
Yeah, it has been unseasonably cold up here. Obert, I hope you're ready because it's going to be even colder.
I'm looking forward to some warm weather over in Connecticut. It'll be really nice to get away from these 40s and low 50s temperatures. So sounds fun.
Yeah, and I go home next. So Wednesday I go home and it's going to be like 85, like it should be. So.
Yeah, we got a little bit of snow down in the Bitterroot Mountain Range where my featured brewery from today is from. So yeah, winter's on its way in Montana.
Very nice.
Yeah,
okay, well,
fall's just getting here, so at least you'll be coming to a little bit warmer weather. Then I kind of forgot that you lived in the snow-capped mountains of wherever the hell in the United States.
Yeah, Rockies. Those are the ones.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, we hit up quite a few breweries. We hit up like 3 or 4, as well as a cidery, and there's some good stuff, some really good stuff. Fat Orange Cat is just awesome, and so are Stubborn Beauty is always solid, and we went to Spoken Spy Cidery, which is also in Middletown, and that was pretty delicious as well. So, as well as, where else we go? Five Churches?
Five Churches.
Yep, that was good. That was a good little spot.
Then we visited
nice. Was
Eli
that your first time there?
I'd never been to Five Churches, no. That was a new brewery for me.
So why do they call it Five Churches?
From the brewery, you can see 5 churches in Middletown.
Okay.
So therefore they get their name, Five Churches.
Okay. I think I'm going to start a brewery and call it like 85 parking spots or something like that.
Oh no, they're putting in that new development. I got to change the name of the brewery again.
Yeah. I'll 80 up the 5 churches. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's been my Connecticut trip pretty much. That and, of course, eating all of the terrible food and giving me awful, awful heartburn. So that
just eating and drinking your way around the state.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I came up here and I had lost 45 pounds, and I think I've put on 15 or 20 since being here. So it's been a productive week.
Yeah, right. Roller coaster.
In that tradition of eating and drinking my way around the state, I think we should continue again. So, what's everybody drinking tonight?
Ooh, Ted, why don't you go first?
I will go first. Hang on, I gotta crack it away from the mic so nobody can hear the trademark. Chris.
Yeah, I heard it. Oh wow, I heard it a bunch.
Hold on. I gotta get my lawyer on the line. Yes. Hello, lawyer. Oh. Yeah, definitely. Tud needs to be sued now. So just write up the lawyer paperwork and I'll sign it. So, sorry, Tud.
The lawyer paperwork. I love it.
Yeah.
I look forward to being served about drinking beer. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. It's impressive that you're able to keep those calls with your lawyer so short, because I know how they charge by the hour.
Yeah, exactly. I got to get them all in.
Right.
Anyways, Ted, what are you drinking?
What are you drinking? Yeah.
So I am drinking a Hurricane by Treehouse. So, keeping in the tradition of drinking nothing but New England style beers so far on this podcast, I've decided to drink another one today. This is
a lot of diversity.
Yes, I'm really good at D-I-N-E. So, Hurricane is an American double IPA by Treehouse Brewing Company. And the description, according to the can, and I repeat, we are excited that you are holding a delicious double IPA from Treehouse featuring Simcoe and Citra hops. Hurricane! Hurricane coats the tongue with luscious hop oils and carries notes of tropical fruit, citrus, and ripe mango. By applying years of focused brewing execution, we are able to craft beer that is not only abrasive and harsh, but is beautifully refined in its characteristics. It is the result of our uncompromising dedication to fresh, progressive, and delightful beer. We hope that you enjoy it with laughter, good cheer, and with the company of those you love.
That is a lot for a back of a can.
It
Yeah,
is.
really.
I love how they said that they enjoyed brewing harsh and abrasive beers, but that were beautifully citric and with refined characteristics.
I don't know if I would consider anything that Treehouse does like harsh and abrasive, but
I mean, I would say they're very hop forward, in your face. You definitely get a very intense hop flavor, and I could see that as being an abrasive description.
yeah, no, I guess that does make sense.
Yeah, I get the name too, where the hurricane, all the tropical flavors.
I mean, I guess hurricanes can be, aggressive.
One might say that.
Yeah,
So
I think we can probably say that hurricanes are pretty aggressive.
right. So I mean, I guess that's what they were going for with this beer. Is they wanted it to be like a hurricane of Citra and Simcoe in your mouth.
So now that we've heard what the back of the can says, how does it taste?
So I would not call this, abrasive or aggressive at all. I think it's actually a very smooth double IPA. It's one I've never actually had the privilege of buying myself because as I've said, I've just kind of stopped going up there and waiting in line. This one was given to me by my brother, and he's given me the last couple ones of these that I've gotten. It's pretty fantastic.
Nice, pretty fantastic. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm actually making the trek up to Treehouse tomorrow, so
Oh, I know it was on your list.
it was, yeah. I'll wait in the lines and I'll do all that stuff, but I gotta go. I gotta go at least once. So, but anyways, Tud, what would you rate out of 5, and what's the ABV? I don't think I heard that.
So the ABV on this bad boy is unlisted.
Ooh,
I believe
that's how you know it's high.
40% alcohol. What?
Yeah.
I actually believe that the can does not state the amount of ABV for this because it's
Comes
not.
in at 151 proof.
It doesn't have its own.
Ooh.
It doesn't have its own can, so it's doesn't have an ABV listed. That's very weird. Treehouse
52%
hashtag Treehouse, get on this. You have to include this on the can.
Now, when you say it doesn't have its own can, what do you mean?
So Treehouse has quote unquote proper cans for some of their beer, but in other cases when it's not a regular release, they slap a sticker on a steel can and say, "Here you go."
Okay, gotcha.
So this
Yeah.
one happens to be, in a steel can with a sticker on it.
Right. So this is where we'll edit in later when you figure out what the ABV is, what it actually is here.
Attention. Chris is better than Tud.
Okay. You like that long pause for effect so we could find that later?
Right, yeah.
I'll make sure I put it in there.
Anyway, so I would give this beer probably a 4.25 out of 5. It's a solid beer. It's one I would definitely drink again, and I have drank multiple times, thanks to Brad. But it's pretty fantastic. It's definitely one of the more unique beers that they put up. And yeah, I would recommend anybody to go try it.
Nice. Another solid Tud rating. 4.25 out of 5.
Yeah. I think this might be his third 4.25 in a row. Or no, there was a 4.5 last episode.
7.7 ABV according to Untapped.
There you go.
Okay.
There it is. I'll still go in and I'll put something in that space you left. So
Yeah.
Just a long, awkward, dead air pause in a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Those are great.
I'll put something in there. Okay, who's next? Me?
Yeah, Chris, why don't you go?
Me next? Okay. So, what am I drinking? No one asked, but
Hey, Chris, what do you? Oh,
damn it.
we can edit my track out.
So I'm drinking Libation Propaganda from Outer Light Brewing up here
Classic choice.
in Groton, Connecticut. Yeah, I wanted to highlight my trip, even though I didn't make it out to Outer Light like I wanted, but I did. I'm wearing their shirt right now, and also I was like, you know what? I haven't done a stout, and this is like one of my all-time favorite stouts. So, Outer Light Brewing Company Libation Propaganda. It is a stout brewed with coffee, so it's a coffee stout. It is 5.5% alcohol, and it's like just a really really solid coffee stout. It's brewed with local coffee from Ashlawn Farm, which I actually didn't know until I was reading the can. I've had their coffee separately before.
That's also the same coffee that that Fox Farm uses to brew their stouts.
Yeah, no, that's true, and they have it on draft on Nitro there sometimes. But beautiful, delicious stout.
So this is a bold take here, and let me know if you agree with this or not, Chris. But I don't think Outer Light would be where it is today without Libation Propaganda. I feel that's their flagship that has brought them to where they are.
I definitely agree with that. I've had a number of their beers, and though they are good, this is the only one that I'm like, I have to get head over heels for every time I go. Their Lonesome Boatman and, a couple of the other ones, the Subduction IPA, those are all solid, but this is a must-have if I ever come to Connecticut. So we get a sip of this bad boy.
I can safely say that, I have not really explored the Outer Light portfolio of beers, but it's on my list of things to do.
No, you haven't made it down there?
I went there for your bachelor party, and that was the only time.
Really? Wow. Well, since it's been so cold, I was like, well, hashtag stout season. Because
it's not cold yet, my friend.
It's freezing.
It's freezing in the very non-literal sense of the term.
Right, yeah. Like, it's not below 32, but it might as well be. So, after taking a sip, it's just as good as I remember. It's nice and, smooth, with the nice undertones of chocolate. Really, really good. Nice and, like I said, nice and smooth, very velvety taste. Just really, really, just awesome, awesome beer.
It kind of makes me want one.
I would say, yeah. Todd, you should go, grab some friends, hop in a car, head down to Outer Light, play some Jumbling Tower, and just enjoy a nice stout.
Yeah, gotta play Jumbling Tower while you're there.
We can make it a little bit easier. I could just walk down to my fridge and grab one out of the fridge and drink it.
It's also true. I did buy a 6-pack, so. But so Outer Light, they've been around for a few years now. Probably 3 years, 4 years, something like that. And they're down in Groton, Connecticut. I was a Mug Club member there at one point, so I thoroughly enjoy Outer Light. One of my favorite, like I said, my favorite stout and one of my favorite beers ever was also brewed by them. I mentioned it on an earlier episode. It was this stout that was casked with orange peel and poblano pepper, and it was phenomenal. So good. If you're into cask beers. But they do some really good work. I know they use a lot of English style malts, so it can turn some people off because of that, but this beer alone, this Libation Propaganda, is worth going down there and checking it out. So
now, Chris, can I ask you a question? Are you a coffee drinker?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. Do you like a black coffee, like the Ashland Farm Nitro?
Yes, I drink my coffee black.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta say I was not a coffee drinker, but I think I have to thank all of the years of drinking stouts, and especially the ones that are more like Libation Propaganda to kind of convert me into drinking coffee. Because now, I love a good cold brew.
Yeah. I mean, it's something special, and I know that if I don't have a coffee, I'm gonna be a miserable mess the whole day. So I make sure I have one.
So Untapped says that I've had this beer before. So
okay.
I had to go look at my Untapped rating, and apparently I gave this, surprise, surprise, also a 4.25.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good beer. It's a very solid beer.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it being that memorable, but I'm gonna have to give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll leave a can in your fridge. So, and I know I've rated this many different ratings over the years, including it may have been a 5 at one point for me. I don't know. I'd have to look in the check-ins. But even today, drinking it, and it's a little, because I bought them today and I threw them in the fridge late, it's a little on the warm side, but still, I'd say it's a solid 4.5 for me. I love stouts, and this is one of my favorites. So.
Well, it is coffee, so it should be a little warm.
Yeah. That's a solid rating.
Yeah. It's like such an easy drinker. Like I can always drink it and never be disappointed. Obert, you're last, but not least, for sure.
I am last. Oh, well, thank you. I guess that means Todd's least. Somebody has to be least. Nobody wants to admit it, but there's always a least.
I've never been least anything in my life, so I will take least.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so last but certainly not least, this week I am drinking a Hop Tamer Session IPA from Higher Ground Brewing. They are out of beautiful Hamilton, Montana, which is set, I believe, down in the Bitterroot, just about 4 hours south of here. Really cool place, really just a cool area. This is a mosaic hopped IPA, and I'm a huge fan of sessions personally. This clocks in at a cool 4.5% ABV, which is right where I want to be when I'm going to be doing stuff outside, drinking, casually in the afternoon, and want to be able to function. I like a nice mild ABV beer that you can keep drinking well into the night. Yeah, this has got strong grapefruit aroma, I would say, and I opened it a little bit before we started recording, and as it warms up, it's definitely got a little bit more of that danky aroma. It's a pretty pale color, but if you're into like maybe a grapefruit sculpin or like a more tropical session IPA, this would be a good beer for you. I have a pretty high standard for my sessions. I think the pinnacle of my session would be an all-day IPA by Founders. I think that's a tough one to beat, but there are a lot of close contenders there. So I'm going to give this beer a solid 3.75 out of 5. Very good session.
So
yeah, that's a really good session.
If you had to compare this to a beer in New England that both of us also would have tried, what would you compare it to?
Right. Well, so yeah, grapefruit sculpin, but like I said, more of a session version of that. I'm getting kind of, have you had the Take 5 from Harpoon?
Yes.
Yeah. This reminds me a little bit of that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good. But with this single hopped IPA, I wanted to introduce a new segment to you guys this week.
I'm listening.
Okay, what is this segment?
So I'm gonna call this segment Hoppy Hour, where I talk a little bit about a hop variety and hopefully teach our listening audience something about the wide world of beer, as opposed to just what beers we like.
I like it. That's creative pun on the name Hoppy and Happy.
Yeah, you like that? Because like happy hour is normally when you drink cheap beer after work, and they call it that because it's like you're happy you're not working anymore, and also you're happy that the beers are cheap. So this is Hoppy Hour, not to be confused with Happy Hour.
Oh, okay. I thought. I was very confused. I wasn't sure. But is it safe to say you're going to highlight Mosaic this week then?
Yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Mosaic variety. I did a little bit of research on Mosaic in preparation for this, but and as we get into more hop varieties, some more differentiation will be possible. But Mosaic has been just booming lately, as I'm sure you've seen it in more and more varieties. It is only like 4 years old or 5 years old as a hop variety, but it's really becoming a lot more popular.
Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
They had a 67% increase between 2014 and 2016 in Washington State and how much they're growing. So the demand has just been huge, and I can see why. So the name Mosaic, where it comes from, is just because it's like a mosaic of a whole bunch of different hop varieties. There's a little bit of Citra in there, some Simcoe hops, but it's a very floral, very floral hop with pretty high alpha values. It's got a good acidity. Yeah, it has, people use like mango, bubblegum, tropical, like these are all flavors you can bring out with a Mosaic hop.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to remind the listeners, since I know they've listened to all of the episodes so far.
Oh, of course. You got to start at episode 1.
You got to start at episode 1, so nothing makes sense. But anyways,
the dozens of listeners.
Yeah, the thousands and thousands of listeners. But the Frankenberry I drank last week was actually all mosaic hops, but you get like a really good berry flavor because of the way they hop it. So I'm actually I'm very interested in hearing all these other flavors you can bring out. So
Yeah, definitely get that strong. You can get strong blueberry flavors, but so I didn't know the Frankenberry was with mosaic, but that makes sense. Some other good beers that highlight it are the Fresh Squeeze from Deschutes. I don't know if you've had that. They have Deschutes in Connecticut, right?
No, they do not. But I've had it while traveling, and it's really good. It's one of the better pure, quote unquote, pure IPAs that I've had.
Yeah, that's a good one. Obviously, what is it? Blue Point has their Mosaic IPA.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
And,
yeah, light blue can. It looks pretty cool. That's a tasty one as well.
And Founders has a few Mosaic IPAs too. I believe one of theirs is just called Mosaic.
Yeah, Mosaic Promise.
Yeah, but I also think Azaka has a little bit of Mosaic in it too. I know obviously it has Azaka hops in it, but I think there's some Mosaic in that as well.
And is that a Founders brew?
It is.
Cool. Well, that's all I have for this week for Hoppy Hour, the pun on Happy Hour. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about for Mosaic hops?
They're one of my favorites. I can tell you that much. I mean, being an IPA boy and a New England IPA boy, one of the most well-known combinations for hops is Citra and Mosaic. So I definitely have drank a lot of beers, and I generally get pretty excited when I see like a single hop beer, much like the one you're having tonight, and it's a Mosaic variety. I generally, if I'm getting a flight, it's always one I get. If I'm getting a pour, it's most probably the one I get. So
it's good to know.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you, Ted? What do you think about Mosaic?
I like Mosaic. It's probably, I'm gonna say it's my fourth favorite hop, but it's always a solid good beer. I know pretty much when I drink a Mosaic style beer, it's gonna taste relatively similar to other type of Mosaic beers. Like you can go way off the rails with Citra hops, you can go way off the rail with Galaxy, but Mosaics, I just find it to be very consistent. All the beers kind of come out tasting good.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Nice. Yeah, Todd, I think you should next week. I think you should do Hoppy Hour for your number one. Don't tell us now what it is.
Ooh, it's a teaser.
There you go.
Bring it to next week. That's my challenge to you.
Get some homework from Professor Obert.
Who would have thought I would have come on our podcast and gotten homework?
Right. I mean, it's beer homework. Is there any better kind of homework to have than beer homework?
Well, I mean, I guess if I had to have homework, it would be better if it was beer homework rather than normal homework.
Very true, yes. So, football season is among us, as we all know. We actually have a game about to start in, 45 minutes or so?
I think it's already started.
Is it?
Yeah, well, we're on the East Coast, my friend. This is football time.
Wait, hold on. What time is it? Oh, it is
6:48.
My computer is on Central Time, so I was looking at it. 7:48. So football season's among us. I know we have some fantasy teams. How about we go through and do a quick fantasy team update? I don't know, Obert. How are you faring in the land of fantasy football?
I don't mean to brag, but I'm going to brag. I was the highest scorer for my league for both weeks 1 and 2, so I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Kamara has been just tearing it up. And, I mean, Roethlisberger had an amazing week last week, and hopefully he does good tonight. I need him to put up some points to coast to another victory.
Nice.
But, I can't complain at all about my team. Maybe some of the advice Todd gave me this week for who to start wasn't the best, but, what can I say? I'll take all the credit for doing well and just give Todd the crap for not knowing who to start on my team.
I would like to disagree with the advice that you claim that I gave you and say that I gave you really good advice.
You did give me good advice. I mean, maybe I just have too many good wide receivers on my team. That's maybe my problem.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The choice was between Brandon Cooks and Emmanuel Sanders, right?
Yeah, I think we did look at that, and also Galladay. was also a contender.
Yeah, my issue with Galladay is he's not one of the top two options on his team, and Emmanuel Sanders is Case Keenum's favorite target.
Right.
So
really, it all comes down to Kenyon Drake just dropped the ball this week, not literally, but point scoring wise.
Yeah.
Todd, how's your team doing?
So quickly, I know we talked about Monday Night Football, just to provide a live update for everybody. It's currently 7-6. Tampa Bay is beating the Pittsburgh Steelers right now with 1:22 remaining in the first quarter. I know everybody who's listening really wants to know what the score of the game is at this exact time.
Right, even though it'll be the start of the new football week when they actually listen to it.
Correct. So, I have two teams. One is Jimmy's G-String Divas. So, obviously, as you can tell by that name, my quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo, so he's going to be out going forward. So that's going to be, really sad for my team. But that team is 500 because we play 2 games a week, and I've managed to go 1-1 each of the first 2 weeks, and I'm probably going to go 1-1 this week as well.
Sorry, how do you play 2 games a week in fantasy football?
You end up playing 2 different people in so everybody in the league. So there's 10 people in this league. Everybody plays 2 games a week. So basically, there's 20 games happening. So I might be facing a team this week called Johnson and Johnson, and the other one is I'm playing is my main man.
Okay. So do you always start the same team for both games? Okay.
Yep. And so it's basically we set it up as a way for the best teams to rise to the top, because we found out that a lot of times that's not how it worked. So this was put in place to make it a little bit more fair.
And it's just that much more exciting, because even if one game's a blowout, your other one might be more competitive.
Correct. And then in my other league, my team Zeke and Destroy is blowing out my competition, 151.66 to 72.78. So I will give a little shout out to Grady Marks that he's getting doubled up by my awesome team.
That's why he wants to be podcast famous, for being blown out by your team on fantasy football.
Correct. He just needs to know that people are aware and are laughing at him. And then just to give another update about fantasy football, this week I won all of my bets on FanDuel and doubled my money.
That's awesome.
That was touch and go. There was some nervous Tud moments yesterday.
Yeah,
I will say.
I was pretty sure I was losing my entire bankroll, but it came through. I won, and I lived to fight another day.
Would you say there was like one clutch play that helped put you over the top?
I honestly cannot tell you what happened, because at one point, very close to the end of the 4 o'clock games, I was winning no money. And towards the end of that, all of a sudden, I started winning money. So I'm not going to complain about it. I don't really know what happened. I'm sure it was probably some type of negative play that somebody's quarterback suffered that really propelled me up to the top. But, doubling all my money is never a bad way to end a Sunday.
Yeah, I can't complain about that.
No, I would like that every once in a while.
Chris, how's your team looking these days?
So I'm also in two leagues. The first one was an auto draft that I forgot as is tradition. I am in a fantasy league in the last 3 years. I forgot when the draft was and auto drafted. So it's kind of, even this year I was like, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm actually going to pay attention. Forgot the draft.
You got to try hard to forget that 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty impressive, actually. And I also have been the worst team the last 2 years. So, I kind of have to live up to my crown. But despite, the man trying to keep me down, I was 2-0. I say was because I'm getting absolutely destroyed this week. 122 to 56. So, pretty close game.
Wow.
That is Bell available for trade, because since I auto-drafted and I had the number 1 pick, Le'Veon Bell was my number 1 pick for some reason. I don't know why it didn't take Todd Gurley, but I wish it did. And so now I have stuck with Le'Veon Bell just sitting my bench because he's a bum and doesn't want to play.
Wait. So let me get this straight. You were the number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
And whatever website you're drafted on, I'm assuming it's either ESPN or Yahoo.
NFL.com.
Okay. Even better. So their number 1 player. So obviously their number 1 player by their ranks was Le'Veon Bell going into this year.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow.
Now, to be fair, I think the draft happened before the whole sit out thing and like not gonna play. So
Also would explain why you missed it if it was that early.
yeah, also that. But anyways, so I'm gonna be 2-1 in that league, which is pretty good for an auto draft team. That I even when I look at it, I think is pretty ugly. But I will say it did take some heroics by Kirk Cousins last week because he just went off, and I just so happened to be playing the guy who had Ben Roethlisberger, so it was good. My other team is a work team that I drafted first overall. It's a brand new league because I have a brand new building. It's easy, breezy, beautiful, and that's, of course, because I have Drew Brees as my quarterback.
I thought it was because you were a cover girl model.
Well, I mean, I'm also that, but... And as of right now, I am winning. I have Mike Evans and O.J. Howard in play right now. I'm winning by just about a point, and he's got no one playing. So, knock on wood that I don't get negative points the rest of the game. I should be 3-0. So, pretty good. Can't complain.
That's really good.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. It was actually funny because when we did the draft, they did the, this is how you draft and you get a rating and all that stuff. And apparently, according to Yahoo, I had the worst draft of the entire league. And now I'm 3-0. So, well, hopefully.
Suck on that,
3-0.
Yahoo.
Yeah, so take that. What you think about that?
You gotta love that. I got a C- on my draft on Yahoo, so, and that's the league I'm about to be, 2-1 in.
Nice. So cool. Quick fantasy update. I know you guys were all on the edge of your seat wondering how we're doing.
Yeah, hey, Chris, I got a question for you. How's that mailbag looking these days?
Mailbag, I think.
That very literal mailbag that you keep next to you while you record the podcast. You know that one?
Hold on. Let me check.
It's like a burlap sack filled with mail. Oh, wow.
Hold on.
Is he Santa Claus?
We got so much. So
I do have to say I'm pretty impressed with the sound effects there.
What's that?
I have to say, that's great sound effects.
Yeah, I think I did pretty good. So here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. So we actually did get some mail in this week from our mailbag, as you heard me ruffle through it. A couple people, of course, a friend of the show, Brad, emailed in saying we should take suggestions from someone that we work with who also likes beer. So we've got to try getting on that. As well as says we should drink terrible beers and describe why they're horrible. So
yeah,
we'll probably have to get some of that Schofferhofer that Tud loves so much.
Well,
I think that's a promising segment. We could definitely do that.
I'm gonna tease a little bit and say that I've taken this suggestion quite literally, and as a gift, I am sending both of you guys home when I see you respectively with a little gift of a really awful beer that we're going to all drink together.
I'm not taking it.
It won't be the main segment, but I think it would be fun to kind of talk about an old beer and when does it become a drain pour. So I think that should be like, when do you just give up and be like, you know what, beer, you had a good life, but it's not ending in my stomach. It's ending.
I think we should just have to drink as many of the Schofferhofers as it takes till we start liking them.
So we will never stop drinking them.
Yeah, you just maybe 6 in, maybe that's the problem. Maybe you just didn't have enough.
Oh,
I bet you after.
There we go. We found the secret.
Yeah.
What is it when you're captive and then all of a sudden you start liking
Stockholm syndrome.
There you go, Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, it's the same thing, but just with the Schofferhofer grapefruit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I saw in the store today, and I almost bought for Ted.
I know. I can't stop seeing it everywhere now.
I know. It's everywhere. It's just right there. It's a big it's actually not that big of a can, but still.
I recommend that you all go try it and see if you like it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
What I've noticed based on the pictures that you guys have harassed me with over the past couple days is that they listed as a Hefeweizen.
Yeah, I saw that, and you said it was not a Hefeweizen. It was a malt liquor or something like that, right?
It is the furthest thing from a Hefeweizen that I've ever drank in my life. And for them,
we gotta try it now.
For them to call that a Hefeweizen is, whoever invented a Hefeweizen should go smack that guy in the face with an ugly stick.
For some reason, they weren't selling any, calling it grapefruit pea. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, I guess from an advertisement standpoint, it's not the best way to get your product to sell, but at the same time, you shouldn't sell a shitty product.
Yeah, then at least you wouldn't be lying.
Right. I mean, if they put on the can, this beer sucks, people would probably say, well, why do you make it?
Yeah. No, we did get a couple nuanced opinions as well about how people like bacon cooked.
Yeah, I'm reading one from Kevin right now. Kevin says that I am 100% correct. I'll read that again. He says Chris is 100% correct, but I cannot join his team. So
you should show your wife that one and see
Hashtag
if she
Team
ever
Rockhard.
agrees with that.
No. Oh, she does. Yeah, she loves how right I am all the time.
I mean, it must be tough living with somebody who's right all the time like that.
Yeah, I don't know how she does it.
Yeah.
She's a great woman, but maybe it's just easier.
Not as right as often as you. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Just right less of the time, unless she agrees with me. So he says that he cannot join my team though, because the way that I like my bacon, which, like I said, you hold it on the end, it goes out a little bit and like ever so slightly like bends towards the end. That's the perfect piece of bacon. But he says that it's such a fine art to do so that you end up screwing it up and it just becomes a terrible piece of bacon. Whereas if you just like burn it and make it sawdust bacon like you guys like, then it's like still a pretty solid piece of bacon.
So I would like to say to Kevin, and Kevin, thank you very much for being a listener and responding to our email. If Chris is right, but you can't agree with him, does that make him right?
Very bold. I mean, if he's not on the team, that means he's on Team Rockhard. So,
That's also true, but I just can't. It's basically one of my pet peeves saying, with all due respect, I'm about to call you a fucking dumbass and yell at you.
He did vote Team Rockhard, by the way. He on the Instagram poll, he voted Team Rockhard.
No, and I agree. I mean, clearly he made the right decision, but I'm just curious about that thought process.
Well, he understands that my bacon is the best bacon, but it's such a hard thing to master. He says if he can find someone that can make that bacon, he would have that bacon all the time. But it's so hard, and he even says he can't do it himself. I can't. Like I said, there's like a handful of folks that I know can.
Kevin, I need you to respond via email again about this controversy that I'm pointing out.
we need a three-way poll.
I take it to mean like, if you can't screw up rock hard bacon, but with flaccid bacon, there's way more ways you can go wrong than you can get it right, basically.
Yeah. He said that basically, I guess it's like, rock hard bacon is like a B plus A minus, but, is potentially screwing up the bacon worth getting to that A plus, It's like, would you rather take a guaranteed really, really good piece of bacon or go for that perfect piece of bacon?
Well, those are certainly some thoughts about bacon.
Yeah, a lot of bacon thoughts.
I may or may not agree with. But bottom line, our Instagram poll came back exactly 50-50. So
right.
We all win? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, bacon's bacon. It's still pretty delicious. So
that's true. Yeah.
And I don't know, Obert, I don't know if you saw in the mailbag, because everything is physical and in my mailbag.
Right.
You did get a beer recommendation for Whitefish.
I did, and that one was via Katie Miller, and I think I might have to highlight that on next week's episode, because the beer she's talking about, which I will, I won't reveal, we'll hang on, a bit of cliffhanger here for the next episode, but it's probably the local beer I've ordered on tap most often. So,
ooh, okay, all right,
I'm just
nice.
shocked there's other people who have been to Whitefish and have lived to tell about it.
Yeah, haven't decided to move here, right?
Or died of a bear attack.
Right.
I mean, I saw Katie yesterday, so I know that she's alive. So
she is alive. Yes, I can vouch for that.
And she did not get eaten by a bear. So, and she made it back. She didn't decide to move there. So
that might not have been her choice, though.
Oh, we had one more mystery listener who also weighed in on the bacon controversy, but I'm convinced is Dan because I know how he likes his bacon, and there can't be that many of you. But
Would you like to share the mystery email that we can get into theories about this and then actually reveal who it is because we figured it out?
Yeah, we already know it's Dan. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
How did you know?
Well, we saw him yesterday.
Oh, okay. So I was right. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
We
Dan.
confronted him about it.
But he does side with me on the bacon issue. So.
Yeah.
There's always that.
He also likes to climb things for fun. So.
True. But a lot of people like to do that. We probably have at least 2 people that listen to this podcast that like to climb things for fun.
So thanks for writing in, guys. I'm glad we got some listener mail. We probably won't do this every week, but when we get some good letters, we'll be sure to share them with you. Obviously, we read everything that you guys all write, and appreciate you taking time out of your day to send us something.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you have anything more, send it on along because obviously it's some of the emails this week elicited some very strong responses. So very interesting discussion. And
just quick shout out to Cindy who loves the show. So she also emailed in, said that she loved the show. So
Hi, Mom.
Continue to send those emails.
Hashtag mom.
Hashtag mom. Hashtag Tud Mom.
So, I've been working on trying to come up with segments for this show. And I really have one that I really want to add, but it's not quite ready, but I'm going to give a little preview of it if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
Nothing like unfinished content to
right.
hold me over.
Yeah, this is developing segments. So anybody who knows me, which is, every single one of our listeners, they know that I am a type of person who gets angry about little things in life. I know that's a big shocker for both you guys on the phone that, I get angry at small things. And I figured that I would take this time to I figured I would take this time to just, vent a little bit about things that have frustrated me over the past week. And the reason why it's still developing is because recently there hasn't been a lot to frustrate me, which is kind of sad. I really wish there was more. So I think
that's frustrating.
I think we decided that is frustrating. That item number 1, why I'm frustrated. I think what we decided to call this segment is why I am cranky.
This is why I'm cranky.
This is why I'm cranky.
Oh, I didn't know that was the name we were sticking with. I like it though. This is why Tud's cranky.
Hashtag shout out to Stony Creek for their cranky IPAs as well, because
maybe we can get them to sponsor the segment. That sounds like a good plan.
This segment brought to you by Stony Creek's cranky IPA.
Whoa, you don't give it to them for free.
Yeah,
no. Sorry.
What's their arch nemesis? Because then we can just say it's by them until Stony Creek.
Yeah, this is by One Star Brewery, Stony Creek.
Until this time they start to sponsor us, I'm going to rate all their beers on Untappd a 0.25. Ooh.
Anyways, why you cranky?
So, This week, why I'm cranky. I recently purchased a new iPhone, and one of the first text messages I decided to send was trying to talk about the outro that, as everybody all remembers last week, I screwed up really bad.
Maybe, yes.
So, my new phone, in all its infinite wisdom, decided to not only correct outro twice, but to 2 different words. One, outdo, so with a D instead of an R, with no space, and then putro. Now, I'm not a word genius, but I don't know if either of those words actually are real words. I know one of them is a term, but neither one of them's a real word. So I'm going to say to Apple, and probably to Google as well, get your shit together and make autocorrect work. Signed, Tud.
Yeah. Hashtag Apple, get on it. Let's get on this.
Nope, no hashtag Apple, let's get on this. This is a straight up message to Apple. Fix your shit.
So just for fun, into Google, I've typed in Putro definition, and the first things that pop up are outro definition, define outro, and outro definição, which I think is Portuguese for outro definition. So iPhone might need to get on this.
Yes, so maybe the Android way was the way to go, and not the new iPhone that didn't know that outro was a word, but thought putro was a word.
No, it absolutely is. It always is. Never ever go iPhone.
Maybe we should come up with a definition for putro. Maybe putro is just a very specific instance of an outro recorded for a podcast.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm about to, do the little hashtag sound on my fingers that we talked about last week, and say hashtag Putra.
Hashtag Putra.
But what does that even mean?
We don't know.
It's a poo outro.
So that's the debut of my developing segment. More to come on that as things make me angry throughout the week and make me cranky.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about some good things that make you angry.
Yeah, and we got to get Stony Creek up in here. 1-star brewery, Stony Creek.
I'm just going to start to refer them as those guys from Brantford who are 1-star.
Yeah, right.
Because we don't want to say their name.
No, true.
The brewery who's subpart of Thimble Island.
Ooh, I don't know if there's any brewery that's subpart of Thimble Island.
Wow, throwing them under the bus, huh?
Yeah, sorry.
Until they're a sponsor, of course.
In other
Right.
words, in other news today, the new news that Thimble Island will never sponsor us after that comment.
Yeah,
no,
right.
probably not. That's fine. I wouldn't take money from them.
I will say their Ghost Island Porter or Ghost Island Stout, whatever one that is really good.
I must not have had it. I can't remember the one that I had, but I don't know. I've been there twice, and I don't know. Both times, underwhelming.
So the one benefit that they did, and the benefit that they've provided to the brewery economy in Connecticut is, for a while they were the home of the 12% Beer Project.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, so they gave up a lot of their brewery space to those 5 or 6 or 7 breweries that brew out of the 12% Beer Project, so they could brew and can their own beers. So
that's pretty cool.
I will give Thimble Island a little shout out for being bros to the industry. I don't recall the other brewery in Brantford. They didn't do that,
Overshores.
even though that they
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
even though that they have a much bigger facility and they didn't offer to do that.
1-star brewery in Brantford.
Yeah, the 1-star brewery in Brantford. That's the unofficial sponsor of my segment.
Future sponsor of the show.
That's how we get sponsors. We threaten to talk bad about them.
Yeah, we just blackmail sponsors into supporting us.
This next segment is brought to you by MeUndies. MeUndies, the most comfortable and itchy pair of underwear.
No, don't you. I'm taking this out. There's no way. Like, MeUndies, if you're listening, you need to send me underwear because I talk about you all the time. So
that is true.
Thrown out there.
This man does talk an uncomfortable amount about his underwear.
It's almost too much talk about underwear.
Yeah, I think any talk about underwear is uncomfortably too much.
Like, no man should talk about his underwear as much as you do.
Yeah, but you guys don't know. You just haven't worn MeUndies.
And I'm going to say, just another aside, I think this might be an Adamowicz thing, because your wife talks about her bra a lot, too.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But that's not a MeUndies bra, though, so...
No, that's probably why it's uncomfortable.
Probably. Oh, yeah, well... Yeah, she talks about bras a lot. But then again, she doesn't buy expensive bras, so... It's fine. I'm gonna have to take all this out. She's not gonna want this in the podcast.
So this next section brought to you by Not MeUndies.
No.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, what do we have for our handles on our Frosty Mug of advice this week? Frosty Mug of Wisdom. Chris, what do you got to recommend for just something in general this week?
So it's gonna sound kind of redundant because I think I already gave him a shout out the beginning of the show, but in this true spirit of beer, I want to give a shout out to Fat Orange Cat Brewing. They have been doing phenomenal stuff. They're only about 2 years old. I think just over 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. And this is one of the places, much like Fox Farm, where I was one of the first people to go there, and their beer was good, but not amazing. And now they're just knocking it out of the park. They're paired up with the 12% Beer Project, like Tud was just talking about. And I'm just so happy to see them brew great beer and just knock it out of the park. It was packed. Everybody was having a good time. The drinks were delicious, and I actually saw them in a package store in Nashville. So that's saying something. The fact that they're getting that far down. That's my mug on our Frosty Mug. My handle on our Frosty Mug of Wisdom this week.
Wait, did you say that they were in Nashville?
Yeah, I saw a 4-pack at Craft Brewed in Nashville.
Wow,
Which
cool.
is shocking.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what brewery are we talking about again? Because that's really surprising. I mean, good for them.
It's a long way from home.
But great brewery. Nice vibes too. Like, pretty laid back, nice barn with sitting area outside.
And they have goats.
And they have goats.
And chickens.
Do they have any cats?
Not that I saw.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the fat orange cat, but I know it's there somewhere.
Yeah. One time I saw a really fat orange cat, and I went to pet it, and the owner told me his name was Pumpkin, which I thought was the best name for a fat orange cat I've ever heard.
That's pretty good.
So you realize that when the owner bought that cat, that was a skinny orange cat. And they knew that by the end of that cat's life, it was going to be a fat orange cat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a cat loved food.
He started out as sweet potato, but then became pumpkin as he got older.
Yeah.
So who's got the central handle this week?
I'll go with the central handle. Lately, I've been listening to a little bit more music, and an album I've really been enjoying lately is "When I Pretend to Fall" by the Long Winters. It's just a classic album. If you haven't heard their music, I would really recommend to check it out. I don't know, randomly a song of theirs popped in my head the other day. I decided to listen to this album again, and I'm a huge fan. I highly recommend you check them out.
What type of music are they similar? Like what genre? What bands are they similar to? Would I like them? You know my flavor of music.
Yeah, you definitely like more of a hard rock. This is, I'd say, alternative rock, but I think everybody could kind of enjoy them. It would be something I would feel comfortable playing on a jukebox at a bar or throwing on an iPod at a party, kind of thing. That I think it's just you can't go wrong. Check them out. I'd say just give them a listen and report back. That's your second homework assignment for the week.
Wow.
Go listen to the Long Winters and let me know what you think about them. I'll send you a link.
I'll do that too. I'll make sure I listen to more of their stuff. So
yeah, and maybe we could put a YouTube link in the show notes for one of their songs if we want.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
So now is it weird if I pivot off of your handle
Not at all.
and mention something that actually might be helpful for this exact topic?
Are you putting over Joe Rogers and the Short Summers?
No, actually,
okay.
I kind of fed Obert into this conversation to lead into my handle. So there's a website out there called musicmap.com, music-map.com, where you type in the name of the artist and
let's do it right now.
And hit go, and it tells you that the bands that are very similar to it. So we will all wait as Obert does his homework that I'm about to assign him, and he goes on there and tells me who they're similar to.
Okay, here we go. The Long Winters. Go. All right, it looks like we have our results here. John Darnielle, The Narrators, What Made Milwaukee Famous, Young Love, The 88. Those are the closest ones. I'm looking for other more popular bands on here. A New Pornographers, Lonely the Brave, Jack Campbell. Yeah, so this is a cool website. I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool website. It's also kind of, you can play the same game that you play with Wikipedia with how many degrees of separation are certain bands.
That's cool.
Because if you click on one of those bands that surround it, it starts telling you more bands that are similar to it.
That's cool. I like that. I'll have to check it out when we get off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is pretty neat stuff. This is a good handle to finish on.
Yeah, so that's a shout out thanks to something I saw on Reddit the other day where I learned about that website myself. So I found that was really cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
So
cool.
Are we ready for the Putro?
Yeah. Let's thanks again for listening, everybody. Again, don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, DAWF Podcast. And don't forget to follow the email, dawfpodcast@gmail.com. I want to give a big thanks to James Vaklovic for our logo. You guys got anything else? Anything else we need to shout out? Recommend?
Yeah, thanks to the breweries for making these beers. Outer Light down here in Groton,
Oh yeah, Higher Ground, of course, in beautiful Hamilton, Montana.
And like they need an introduction anymore, Treehouse.
Yeah, I've heard they're pretty good. I'll have to check those guys out.
They've been known to make a good beer every now and then.
Every once in a
Yeah.
while. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out for everybody that's listened so far because we've had like a really high number of listeners for a new podcast, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. Thanks again for tuning in, getting the word out there, sharing it with your friends and family. We appreciate you guys spreading the words.
Thank you to everybody who sent an email as well. Continue that, please. We like to be engaged with our listeners, and I know that a lot of you guys know who we are, and you'll just text us anyways. But I appreciate the emails because that gives us, some stuff to talk about on the podcast as well. So keep on sending those in so we can all read them. We all share the email. All three of us read it at the same time. So keep on sending them.
All right, and don't forget to give us 5 stars. We are on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you find your podcasts. Google Play, we're there now, of course. Please leave us a 5-star rating. It definitely helps other people find the show. Gets that word out there as well. All right, so with that, I'm Obert.
My name's Chris.
I'm Tud.
And if you're drinking alone, you might as well do it with friends.
You can also drink by yourself, too.
No,
Well,
see,
I mean, no.
you
Yeah.
can't. See,
Gotta do
we're in the same
name of
house
the
and we're still not
podcast.
drinking.
Yeah.
That is true.